Hello again. It is, let me see, what is today? Monday, September 23rd, 7:44 p.m. I'm inbound to Fancy Gap. Have 15 miles left. The terrain looks like a bit of a fluke, so I don't think it's going to be a gentle arrival as some of these recent ones have been. Bunch of fucking bugs out right now for whatever reason. I guess because of my low elevation. So speaking of which, let's do some vital statistics. Currently at 2,632 feet and going up. Just past mile marker 214, 216. I don't remember. Let's see, what else do we got? I guess it was 216. Let's see. What else is interesting? I've gone 87.7 miles. I've climbed 7,503 feet. It's 69.5 degrees. And yeah, should be at camp before 9, which is nice. But yeah, I listened to my other clips today earlier. Kind of falling asleep a little bit while I did. It's like, Fook, this is not some motivational stuff to get me up the hill. This is like some bedtime shit. But I thought the clips were good. Definitely enjoyed them for what they were worth. And one thing I would like to say right here at the offset, God, I keep feeling like my fanny pack is falling off. I think the most popular car that I've seen out here on the parkway is the Mazda Miata and or Mazda MX-5, which I think is what the Miata was named, rebranded to after they grew a pair. But yeah, going well, doing well. Definitely much improved since the sun has gone down. Gotta tell you, and really gotta tell myself, like, you know, oop, big frog, nice job, dude. I've seen a lot of deer tonight too. It's hard in the middle of the day in the blaring sun from like, I don't know, 1 till like 5. That's probably the hardest time of the day. That's the only real part where I'm like, Fook, it's hot, this is difficult. Not that it's hot or difficult enough to stop, but, you know, certainly exacerbates the difficulty. But I've actually really been enjoying these night rides. For one reason, there's no one else out here for the most part. For two, there's no light pollution, so as long as the sky is clear, you can see some great stars. Saw some pretty nice stars last night. It's a little bit more overcast tonight. I don't know if I'll see very many, if any at all. But yeah, I mean, it's just a different vibe at night. Again, I feel re-energized. Music sounds better, feels better. I don't know. It's more akin to the early morning vibe, I guess, which makes sense. Dusk and dawn are pretty much the same thing, just yin and yang. But yeah, what is there to say? I don't know. Today's going to be another 100-mile day for sure. That little foray into Blowing Rock made sure of that. Not that I tried to do anything to accelerate my time there. I was chilling pretty hard for about 45 minutes. But, you know, that's one thing that the trail taught me. You know, it kind of goes back to the thing Benji told me when we first went out on the Appalachian Trail, which is a cliched sentiment, but nonetheless true. He was like, we passed some rock, and he's like, we should sit down here. And I was like, sure, dying for a break. And he was like, some guy once told me that if you come upon a rock and you want to sit on it, you should, because you'll probably never see that rock again. And so, like, being out here, you know, the clip from earlier when I went into that little store after pretty much saying that I wouldn't 2 or 3 seconds before I decided to, why not? I mean, I knew it was going to push me back a lot because I figured if they had anything at all I was interested in, I was going to sink at least 15 minutes into being there. Not that there's anything wrong with that at all, but I'd be 15 minutes more down the road at this point for what that's worth, which isn't much. And so I got a Lipton iced tea, piece of banana bread, and chilled. It was hot, it was like 3 or 4 o'clock or something. And so it's not like the break didn't feel good. The cold Lipton iced tea, it was great. It really energized me to keep going, which, my parents texted me recently. They were like, don't overexert yourself. And I'm really not. I'm having some long ass days, but I'm not doing more than I can. This is all pretty comfortable, especially outside of the hours of 1 and 5. So if I'm on here for 10 or 11 hours, we're talking 60% bearability rating, which that's much better than what I could achieve at work. Bearability at work is definitely lower than 60%. I mean, you have to go, so it kind of makes it even worse. I'd say most weeks you're lucky if it was 20% bearable, but you have 80% responsibility and other kind of bullshit weighing down on you, so you got to stay. About to have a downhill, which I've come to find, re-listening to the clips, downhill doesn't really mess with the actual audio quality, so I don't need to scream as I did in the previous clips. Yeah, it's not too much of a downhill. There's a lot of climbing though here in the next 5 or 6 miles, sadly so. And it's pretty dark now. It's probably 8, right? 7:51. Yeah, it's only getting darker, which is good because my dynamo light works best at as dark as possible. Passing mile marker 214 right now. I should say, first of all, I passed, I think I did that earlier today, the mile marker 299. I guess I did that last night. And then today I passed 269, which was the 200 mile mark. And then I passed the halfway point, which was 234. And then I got into Virginia just a few miles ago, which is kind of cool. No longer in North Carolina, and if the Appalachian Trail is similar at all to the Blue Ridge Parkway, which it could very well be, then hopefully it flattens out a bit. I mean, there was that pernicious rumor that Virginia was supposed to be much flatter than everything that had come before it. I never really found that to be true, but I don't know. I kind of forgot how hard everything was in the beginning. Kind of hoping that the campsite tonight has electrical outlets at the check-in station. I saw this morning that, well, first of all, I think I already said, but the Julian Price campsite I was not able to pay for. No one showed up. No one was at the information desk. I don't have any cash. That's a mistake too. I need to get some cash. So didn't pay for where I slept last night. Well, I guess that means I saved $20. I would have already had the campsite reserved there, as I do for everywhere else I'm staying, but they only had 2-night minimum, so I wasn't able to get one single night. They said if you're doing a single night, you just got to show up and cross your fingers, but I was like, I'm not going to pay for 2 nights. I think it was going to be $40 in that case, when I'm not even going to stay there for 2 nights, so I was just going to take my chances and show up. But lo and behold, I mean, come on, what is this, like some weird honor system? This is dumb. Like, I don't know. You need to get your fucking shit together. Have like a QR code that you can scan so that you can go to the MPS Venmo page or something. You guys are missing out on a lot of money, and it's because you're fucking locked in like the 1800s. All right, putting on my mask. Gotta pay attention. It's a steep downhill. about to be at the Blue Ridge Mountain Center, whatever that is. I'm on a newly paved section of the Blue Ridge, so there's no pavement markings. So the street, the actual road is just pitch black with no demarcation. It almost looks like you're like on glass or water or something when you're going downhill. God, there's so many fucking bugs out right now. Fuck, there's a lot of climbing. Anyway, yeah, so I'll have to take a better look tonight, because if there's some outlets, I'd love to charge up my little Bluetooth speaker, charge up my battery pack while I put my tent together and stuff, drink a little whiskey. Yeah, certainly getting dark. Talked to my mom today on the phone. Told her about the campsite I was at. She asked me if it was creepy, and I was like, dang, like, you just don't really get it. You don't get the essence of this whole thing. Like, I don't know. I was creeped out at first, for sure. Like when I first started the Appalachian Trail, and truth be told, never stealth camped by myself, so I can't really say I'm cured of how I felt. But, like, I don't know. Nature like this, there's just like nothing to worry about. I don't know. If there were to be a murderer out here, it'd be a very motivated murderer. And if you were killed by an animal, which is exceedingly unlikely, then, I mean, honestly, you probably did something to it. I don't know. Black bears don't really fook with humans. So, yeah, I don't know. Just climbing this hill. Whatever. Trying to figure out if it looks like it might rain. Allie said it rained today in Pennsylvania, heavily. So, not that far away. I think I'll probably put my jacket over parts of my bike tonight. My Frog Tog jacket, just in case. Blue Ridge Music Center. Open daily, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I guess I missed that. It's got to be 8 now, right? Oh, wow, 7:56. Not even close. Just talked to my sister. I was like, hey, you know, if you guys want to meet me on the Blue Ridge Parkway, like, since you're going south and I'm going north, as long as you jump on the Roanoke area, you'll see me. And I don't know, she seemed very unsure of it, and she was, I could tell it in her tone of voice. And I was like, you know, there's really nothing to worry about. I mean, like, it only goes in two directions, and again, if you jump on in the Roanoke area and just stay on there for 60 miles or something, you'll see me. Plus you get to see a little bit of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I don't think my sister's ever been on there, been on it. I mean, maybe she has, but if she has, it was a long time ago. So I'm not sure if she'll make the journey. Sort of a shame, because for sure if you're in the area and you're kind of, you know, luxuriously making your way south, I'd say, you know, it's definitely a good little side trip. I mean, it's pretty, it's better than being on the highway. Again, there's no advertising out here, no billboards or anything. It's just pure wilderness nestled, or it's like a road nestled in the wilderness. And obviously there are some amenities. I've been to many bathrooms, I've been to many visitor centers, I've been to a couple restaurants. Not as many as I may like, I should add. Today, no, well, I went to a cafe earlier, if you can count that, I guess. I don't know, I don't really count that as a restaurant. But going downhill again, I've got my buff over my face to keep the bugs out of my mouth and to try to skirt them around my eyes. Trying to keep an eye out for deer, ringing my bell to let them know I'm coming. man, there's so many fucking bugs. Oh, little deer. Deer. Hey, deer. God, I hope one doesn't fucking just like run out, crash into me. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. It's going to be a pretty strenuous last few miles to get to camp. Oh, I should say too, earlier when I was remarking about how I can't believe that I didn't see that like plus and minus thing on my Garmin to make the map go zoom in and out for the elevation profile, it's gone. I don't know where the fuck it went. It showed up, I was able to zoom out a bit, and then it went away. I don't get it. It's not something that you hold down for. It doesn't come if you swipe through the pages. Maybe if I go back and forth. Man, it's so fucking stupid. I don't know. I wish I could zoom out a little bit. Looks like we got another mile marker. What's this? Is it 212? Yep, 212, y'all. 212. I remember, this might be the last story. I think I've told this on a different podcast, but when I was a kid, there's a car coming up behind. It's kind of surprising. I'll get out of their way. When I was a kid, there was one time my dad spat. Just got some stuff out of his mouth, I guess, and I asked him why he spat. He was like, I had a bug in my mouth. And so for a long time, I don't really know how long it was. I was a kid, so it might have just been a week, but I was just like obsessed with spitting because I didn't want to get a bug in my mouth. Like I wanted to spit it out before I even realized it was there. So I spat a lot. That's my story. Like, certainly comes to mind now, seeing as got all these fucking bugs flying around. But yeah, it's been a good trip. Continues to be. Tomorrow I think is a slightly shorter day. So I think maybe like 80 something miles, and I don't think I'll need to do a resupply, but that might be cutting it kind of close. We'll see how all that kind of shakes out as we get closer and closer. I think, which is why I mentioned it to my sister, I think I'm right outside of Roanoke tomorrow night, because it's like 114 miles away, something like that. I'll probably see another sign here for it in a minute. But I'll be less than 100 miles away from it when I finally get to camp tonight. So, yeah. I don't like it when people slow down when they go by me. What the fuck are you doing? Like, go. Anyway, yeah, so pressing forward, feeling good, haven't pooped in the woods. I have my whole setup perfectly configured at this point. Last night I went through all my bags. I don't have to do that tonight, so I can save that time, which is nice, because that was definitely not a waste of time, but largely a waste of time. Going downhill again, let me put on my little buff. Keep these bugs out of my mouth so I don't have to spit like my daddy. I've got at least 3 more climbs in front of me. One of them is pretty steep, but probably not more than 8 or 9%. I will say, once more, consistency. The Blue Ridge Parkway is very consistent. The grades really don't get too bad out here. Nothing more than, I still haven't seen anything higher than 10%, which is good, because 10% is fucking bad. So, climbing again. Might be time to listen to some more music. So there's a lot of downed trees over here. Some weird white stuff. Yeah, a lot of down trees. This is more than 1%. This is at least 5. Yeah, that's all I had to say for now. How long has it been? 20 minutes. That's good enough. All right. I'll leave it there. Probably listen to my old clips now. So talk to me later.